everyone, and welcome back to this channel, OHL in 20. This is where we break down all 20 OHL teams, including stats, player predictions, trades, and much more. Well, today's the last video of the preseason. Expect maybe a different scenery and a little bit of a different process as we go through each regular season game. But until then, this is the last video of the preseason, and let's take a look at what actually went down across the Ontario Hockey League to finish off the weekend. At the North Bay Memorial Gardens, it was the North Bay who came out on top over the Owen Sound attack 3-2, but in a shootout. It was the Brantford Bulldogs who defeated the Niagara Ice Dogs at the Meriden Center last night with a final score of 5-2. It was the Sudbury Wolves who came on top over the Peterborough Petes at Norwood Arena yesterday with a final score of 7-4. It was the Windsor Spitfires who won the battle against the Flint Firebirds at the Flint Iceland Arena in Flint, Michigan, with a final score of 7-2. And to finish off the night, it was the Kitchener Rangers who defeated the Oshawa Generals in a shootout with a final score of 4-3. And man, here we go again. The Kitchener Rangers winning yet again in another shootout, but this time it was on the road. So let's do a little recap of what took place in all of these games. Let's start with the North Bay and Owen Sound game, where North Bay defeated the Owen Sound attack 3-2 in a shootout. Well, North Bay was actually down in this game 2-0 at the end of the second. Going into the third period, it was goals from Liram Amanovsky and Andrew LeBlanc, who ended up tying the score at 2 before North Bay would end up winning the game in a shootout. And that goal, it was a conversion by Jacob Thurin. In terms of the Owen Sound goals, it was Pierce Maboy and Sam Ether who ended up scoring the Owen Sound goals, while Carter George and Matthew Koprovsky, they combined for 29 saves in the crease last night for the Owen Sound attack. In terms of the North Bay goaltending, it was Mike Lavore. He ended up stopping 21 of 23 shots that helped lead the North Bay Battalion to victory in the shootout over Owen Sound. We're going to go off to the Meriden Center, where the Brantford Bulldogs were in town to face off against the Niagara Ice Dogs. Well, Brantford, they defeated Niagara with a final score of 5-2. It was Washington Capitals prospect in Patrick Thomas who ended up scoring twice, while it was sophomore Jake O'Brien who had 3 assists for the Brantford Bulldogs. So a great overall performance for Brantford. It was Nicholas Rosetto, Cole Brown, and Nick Lardis who also ended up scoring for Brantford as they ended up outshooting the Niagara Ice Dogs 42-34. And they also went 3 for 7 on the power play. So just an overall dominating performance by Brantford. And I mean, you could see it in their gameplay. We know that Brantford is going to be one of those top contendent teams come next season, especially for a Washington Capitals prospect in Patrick Thomas, someone we're probably going to want to watch out for, unless he ends up going to play for the Washington Capitals. But my prediction, he's probably going to make an appearance this upcoming season with Brantford. In terms of the Niagara goals, it was Bradley Waislin and Ethan Zada. They ended up scoring both of the Niagara goals for the Ice Dogs. And in net, it was David Egoroff who ended up making 32 saves for that victory over Niagara. While Niagara's own floors, he ended up stopping 37 of his own. So just an overall unstoppable performance by the Bulldogs. And, well, expect to see that more as we get ready for the regular season because, well, all of these rookies have proved their chances and opportunities of their performance for these clubs in the preseason. It's going to come down to who makes the final roster and what can we expect from individuals like this come the regular season. Let's go off to Norwood, Ontario, where it was the Sudbury Wolves who defeated the Peterborough Petes with a final score of 7-2. And well, Seattle Kraken prospect in Nathan Valdo, he ended up leading the way with 3 goals and an assist on Sunday night against Peterborough. And it was Chase Coughlin who ended up scoring 2 goals in the game, while Kieran Walton, he also had a goal and 2 assists to help lead the Sudbury Wolves to victory over Peterborough. In terms of the Peterborough goal scoring, it was Chase Lefebvre who had 2 goals of his own with 11 shots on net for himself. And to earn that Sudbury victory, it was both Nate Kachuk and Drew Galton who combined with 37 saves to earn that victory for the Wolves. And they were howling last night. And what a great overall performance, as I saw a picture on the Sudbury Wolves and Peterborough Pete's Instagram pages last night as they just both came together and took a picture at center ice to commemorate such a classic game at Norwood Arena between these two franchises. We will now go off to the Flint Iceland Arena in Flint, Michigan, where the Windsor Spitfires came out on top over the Flint Firebirds with a final score of 7-2. Well, it was Noah Morneau who ended up having 2 goals and 2 assists for the Windsor Spitfires, while rookie Ethan Garden, he also scored with 3 assists to help lead the Windsor Spitfires to victory. Owen Outwater, we saw a lot of him last season as he ended up scoring a goal and adding an assist, while it was Joseph Eklar who also had 3 assists in this game. And in terms of the Flint goal scoring, it was New York Rangers prospect in Nathan Aspinall. He had a goal and an assist for the Flint Firebirds last night. And well, it was just a great overall individual performance from Aspinall as he was able to claim not just a goal, but also have an assist too. And it was also Carter Froget who ended up making 27 saves to earn that Windsor Spitfires victory in Flint. And last but not least, we can't forget about the last game that finished off the OHL preseason for this year. It was the Kitchener Rangers coming out on top over the Oshawa Generals. And man, they've just been full of winning shootout victories this preseason as they defeated Oshawa with a final score of 4-3. And wow, it was the Kitchener Rangers' 5th consecutive shootout win in this preseason, as the shootout winner came from Luca Romano, as it was Jason Chabel who ended up stopping all 3 shots in the shootout against the Oshawa Generals in net for the Kitchener Rangers. Well, Kitchener, they were actually down in this game with 4 minutes and 17 seconds left in the game, but it was Cameron Arquette who ended up tying the score at 3 to send this game to a shootout. While also joining in the goal scoring department, it was Trent Swick and Adrian Musajevic on the Kitchener roster who helped lead the Kitchener Rangers to that victory in the shootout. In terms of the Oshawa goal scoring, it was Tristan DeSelli, Owen Griffin, and Sean Costello who all scored for Oshawa, while Zachary Sandu, he had a pair of assists for the Oshawa Generals last night. Well, this was another close game, but again, this was another dominant team who outshot their opponents 40-21, and that was in favor of the Kitchener Rangers. And Chabel, the goaltender for Kitchener, he stopped 18 of his own shots. And it was Oshawa Generals goaltender Jacob Oster who stopped 36 shots of his own to help lead the Oshawa Generals to that close victory despite coming up short in the goal scoring department. So overall, just a phenomenal preseason for all of these OHL clubs, and not just last night. And personally, in my opinion, I think that the team that really impressed me the most in this preseason was definitely the Kitchener Rangers, who won 5 consecutive shootout victories in the preseason. Every team, I mean, they gave it them all. Every rookie was able to, give their best performance and prove to the management staff of what they're capable of bringing to these clubs. And as we get ready for regular season, what should we expect when it comes to the goaltending? Are we going to see more consistent goaltending from a lot of these individual goaltenders? I think so. I really do think that we're going to see quite the show from every team's goalie, whether they're the starter or the backup. They're going to have something to prove as we go into this 2024-25 OHL season. So that's a recap on the Ontario Hockey League preseason for this year. Let me know who your favorite team was to watch in the preseason. And even if you didn't attend the games in person, who was your favorite team that I was able to recap on and just see who was able to make a very dominating performance in this preseason? There will be more videos going out before we start in the regular season, but until then, be sure to like this video, subscribe, tell your friends, and as we get ready for the regular season, be sure to tune into this channel for more videos. Thanks, and we'll see you again soon.